Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us again for a small business spotlight. It's been a while, but the wait is going to be worth it because this week we have two very, very excellent agents and caregivers in the Medicare space. And why is that important to you? Because in the next 6 days, open enrollment starts. So if you are the age of 65 or above, or if you're turning 65 sometime in the next year, these are things that you need to know. Who do you have to go to that you can trust? Well, there's two gentlemen right here that'll be more than happy to help you out here. We have Brandon Herndon and George Watson. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Hey, thanks, Trev.
All right, so Brandon, we'll start with you just for a minute. What got you into the Medicare space, and what are you kind of really focusing on right now?
Yeah, what got me into the Medicare space is my mother actually turned 65 back in May. And
okay.
I knew that it was going to be a challenge to educate her even on how difficult Medicare is and all the different parts. And so looking at the opportunity, I just see it as being a huge pie. You know, the 65 older demographic is the fastest growing demographic in the United States. All the baby boomers are now starting to turn 65. And so it's just such a big responsibility to make sure that we take care of our parents and our grandparents. And I saw that to be an underserved population of people when I was a State Farm agent. Okay. And when I was a State Farm agent, man, I never focused on Medicare. And I feel bad about it because had I done that earlier in my career back in 2010 when I started, I'd be a better agent and I would have helped a lot of people. And I didn't know how many people I actually hurt by not knowing about Medicare. So, you know, it was my ignorance that maybe not have taken care of people as best as I should have. And so that's really what got me in. And so I'm really working hard to work with people like George and several agents to do things that I didn't do well early in my career. So it's important to me.
Okay, very cool. And I know that you work very closely with George and just from our experiences before, because I know we've been doing some business together. And George, you and I have known each other for only a few short months now, but definitely growing side by side. And I definitely appreciate your counsel and your wisdom and growing in that. Why don't you tell us a little bit more, George, about Encore coverage and why you got into the Medicare space?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Travis.
Absolutely.
Encore coverage is essentially a brokerage firm, and essentially we were focusing on the group side of the business. And working that side of the business, I found pretty much every company has someone that's about to turn age 65. Okay. And they want to look at their Medicare, but they really don't know how to go about doing it. They don't know where to start. And then the company is actually encouraging them, hey, do you want to stay on our group plan or do you want to look at the Medicare? So, of course, that's an area that has a huge gap. And like Brandon, I also have a mother that was in the same predicament. So for twofold for me, for my personal business, as well as for my family, I needed to get into a space that I could be, close that gap and help someone. And what I have found getting into the Medicare world, it is huge. There's a lot of information and people really just don't know where to start.
Right. So that's, yeah, just carrying on that for just a moment, George, if you want to continue, I'd love to hear a little bit more. What do you see some of the biggest challenges that some of those people that are getting into the Medicare coverage, what are some of the biggest challenges that they have and what should they be looking for?
The biggest challenge is trying to find a plan that accommodates their health. Okay. A lot of people, they look at insurance from a cost standpoint. Cost is important, but when it comes to Medicare, you really want to get a plan that will help you from your health standpoint. There are people that have all types of different illnesses. They take all types of medications. So essentially, you need to find a plan that will accommodate where you are from a health standpoint.
Yeah, I've actually posted quite a few times on my personal area about health coverage for under 65.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people think that, oh, you know, there's just one variable that goes into the equation of how much your health insurance is going to cost you.
Mm-hmm.
And that one variable is a premium. There's more to health insurance. There's more to your complete out-of-pocket costs than just your premiums, right? And
Absolutely.
I think that's what you're touching on here as well. If you don't get the plan that's going to service your health needs, you're going to end up paying a whole lot more in the end than you would have otherwise.
You're absolutely correct with that. A lot of people, they are not aware that you can actually get into a Medicare plan with 0 monthly premium.
Huge point, George. That's huge.
And essentially, there are some folks that are out there not having that knowledge, and they're signing up with plans and they're paying a lot of money out of pocket when they really don't necessarily have to. So again, once I speak with people, I ask very key questions. Mm-hmm. What type of medications are you taking at this point? If you're on a Medicare plan, what don't you like about that plan?
Great question.
There are other benefits that you can also get with Medicare plans, such as dental, vision, and hearing. There are also plans that are out there that can offer you.
Sorry.
There are other plans out there that can also offer you like exercise programs. I mean, it's about what that individual's needs are. Mm-hmm. So those are the types of questions that you want to talk about. And that's when you go and find a plan that will accommodate that individual.
Man, George, you know what? I think I might have to hire you to do my Lucid Pros over 65 demographic, because basically what you just talked about is the same type of focus that I give to my clients. It's not about one variable. It's not about your monthly premiums. It's not about your deductible. It's not even about if you have an HMO or a PPO. It's about what's going to fit your needs the best. And the only way to get to that bottom line is by asking the right questions.
Absolutely.
By building up a rapport with the client so they are comfortable in sharing that information with you. And by working with them to make sure that it's not just going to positively affect them, but those around them as well. Right? So
you're spot on.
100% agree with the way you approach things, George, and I definitely appreciate that. So Brandon, I'm going to come back to you for a second. I know that you've helped a couple of close personal friends of mine in the past, and George, no offense, that was just before you and I really got acquainted. And
I completely understand.
We're gonna definitely keep this going, this relationship here. But one of the things, Brandon, that one of my friends, they were already on a Medicare plan, and they ended up jumping into it last second because they just made a split decision to get into it from their employer insurance. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like it happens more often than not. And when that does happen, just why don't you take it from here? What was he missing in this?
Yes, that gentleman in particular was looking at a different supplement plan that he was on. And of course, when you work for an employer and you're 65 and older, you have a chance to opt out of Medicare, opt into Medicare and out of the group plan coverage. And so the good thing about a supplement, and that's where I really want to probably touch on just really quickly the differences between a supplement and an advantage plan. So a supplement, basically any doctor will take a supplement, but it comes at a cost, right? It comes at a cost of premium. For a person who's healthy, a Medicare Advantage plan would be a good option for them. The only thing the downside to a Medicare Advantage plan is sometimes the costs aren't as predictable as a supplement plan would be, but there's a perfect place for a perfect person for a perfect reason. The only thing I don't like about supplement plans is that they don't come with the prescription drug benefits. A lot of folks that are in this demographic, the 65 and older demographic, they're taking something, whether it's blood pressure medicine or they're taking diabetes medicine. So to not have that extra coverage built in as a package, that's where you start to see some challenges with the supplement. But I think it's great. I think everything is proper. So going back to the person that you referred to me, and thank you for that gentleman, he just had confusion on what should he be on a plan G or plan F. He also had just some things to think through about the premium and how the premiums increase over time on a supplement as well. And those are some things we have to take into account. I know George has been trained very well to identify when should a person be on a supplement versus when should a person be on an advantage plan. That really does take the ability of toggling. It takes a skill to really put somebody on the right plan. I know it seems very rudimentary or basic, but it's not. And the only time that you're guaranteed insurable going into a supplement is in that 7-month window. So if you mess that 7-month window up and you're severely sick, you may have really missed an opportunity to have low cost supplemental coverage, right? Because the most supplemental coverage from a person who's turning 65 is under $150 a month, right? And so if you take $150 a month times 12, that's $1,800. Well, most of your advantage plans are going to have annual out-of-pocket deductible anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000. So this is not a little thing to have. You've got to have an expert that knows what's going on. This could cost you the wrong way. Yeah, could cost you tens of thousands of dollars.
This demographic is one that's usually on a fixed income, right? They're trying to live off of retirement. They're trying to live off of Social Security, whatever that might be. So every dollar counts.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, to your point, your previous point, Travis, price is not the only thing you look at. You have to look at the whole picture of coverage. And I think George did an amazing job of expanding upon it. And I know your belief system, Travis, on the whole picture, you've got to take all these things into consideration. You've got to have a strong person like yourself that's under 65 that hands the baton off to a 65 and older specialist in health insurance. I see that as a big problem. I see that people that are under 65 are having a really tough time passing the baton to a person that deals with over 65 insurance. I think there's a gap there that you're helping to fill, and you're doing a phenomenal job with that.
Thank you. Okay, George, let's come back to you just for a minute before we wrap up. I like to keep these things not too long, because if we make them too long, then people will stop looking. And so, yes, just before I get off of Brandon, his name is appropriate on the screen. He is not the Saturday Night Live character. Thompson.
Those royalties, man.
Brandon Herndon. So George, tell me a little bit more. You said that you started working in the group area, and now that you've kind of transitioned over into the 65 and up, are you finding your passions are a little bit more aligned there, or why did you feel like you needed to make that transition a little bit more?
Well, as Brandon shared, his mother, I was already doing my mother's Medicare for her. Or at least trying to assist her. And every year, they're going to send out different types of correspondence. And it seemed like every year the pile was getting higher and higher. It's more and more insight or information that they want you to go through to make just a choice in terms of what type of plan do you want to be on for the next 12 months. And it's extremely confusing. A lot of people, they don't know what the different terms are. What does it mean to have a deductible? What does it mean to have a 0 monthly premium? So what I found was, you really have to be educated in the insurance world and also understand what the penalties could be as from a cost standpoint. So once I really got involved and I saw my mother, how she felt as though, wow, thank you for being my child. You have really, really taken a lot off my shoulders. And as I started talking to other seniors or people at age 65 and above, it was the same thing. They were relieved. They want someone that's passionate about it, someone that is very personable, someone that they can actually trust. That's why I got in. And I mean, from that point on, I've been loving it. I really do. I help a lot of seniors around this time of year, and even a few once we get past annual enrollment. But I haven't had not one client to say, hey, George, you're just not working out for me. I need to go and get with someone else. So I enjoy it.
I'll say this about George. This is how you talk all the time. You're never in a hurry. You always act like whoever you're talking with at the moment, they're the most important person in the world. And so I can understand 100% why you haven't lost a client. Keep up that tremendous customer service, because that demographic very much needs it. So keep doing what you do, buddy. You're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. And so guys, we're going to wrap it up based on that. As you heard, there is a lot that goes into Medicare. And usually the people who need it, they don't know it. So don't be scared to interview agents. And I preach this all the time. Agents work for you. Interview a few of them, figure out one of them that you know, like, and trust, that you want to put your confidence in, and that you want to sign on for the next year. If it doesn't work out for that year, find a new one. If it does work out for that year, continue to build that relationship. But this is a relationship. An agent doesn't go away. It's not an insurance salesperson. It's an insurance agent, and they're there to guide you and to help you along the way. Here's two great guys that are in the Medicare space. I do know a few more, but if you guys out there watching this, if you need somebody, if your parents need somebody, if you have somebody in your small business that is looking to move into possible Medicare instead of being on your employer plan, these are the type of people that you want to talk to. So reach out. Find a good agent. And in the meantime, thank you for joining us for the Small Business Spotlight. And we'll make sure that we have contact information for both of these gentlemen. And we'll just keep that network running, guys. Keep it going. You guys are doing a great job. And thank you for being a part of mine. Thank you for exemplifying the customer service and the ethics that I try to put into my clients as well. It's definitely a pleasure to partner with both of you.
Thank you so much,
Travis. Thanks, Travis. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, guys.